Hello, we are Group 1, and today we'll be talking about the role of business in society. Specifically, we'll be talking about corporate social responsibility, stakeholders, globalization, the crisis of 2008, and disruptive technologies. We hope you enjoy.
During MDP in Semester 1, we learnt about the economic crisis, how it was caused, and the effects it had on the Western world. Overlending was identified as one of the main causes of the economic crisis. Banks made too many loans and gave them to those who could not afford to pay them back. People were unable to make the repayments, so stopped paying them altogether. The lack of debts being paid back led to the banks going bankrupt, which caused the financial crisis. This then led to the housing bubble, which saw the prices of house fall dramatically, which meant people's houses were now worth less, and even if they sold their house, they would still not make back the money they paid for the house. This led to predatory lending, where customers with low credit rates were approved for mortgages. Sahalman reports the notion that mismanagement helped lead to the economic crisis. It was believed that managers only did what was best for them and never took into consideration the long-term impacts of their decisions. They made decisions to put themselves ahead of competitors and had their decision-making tainted by the hope of being the best.
Perhaps the most significant change in the business environment is the impact of disruptive technological advancements. Defined as one which shakes up the industry or creates a completely new one, it's clear to see the influence of such technology. Examples of which include laptops, which have changed the nature of work, with a more mobile workforce carrying out tasks from home, and the introduction of email, which provides almost instant communication between parties, replacing traditional communication methods such as letters and disrupting the postal services. Whilst there are many gains to be made from such advances, there is also a great challenge in preparing for its impact. Ideally, business leaders should adapt their strategic decisions in accordance with these continually developing technologies in order to stay in the market. However, in reality, this may not always be possible, as it's often difficult to forecast when no one knows for sure when and where the next innovation may arise. This topic is therefore one which should be considered carefully by individuals to ensure their success within the business environment.
Another highly speculative topic within the business society is CSR, which stands for Corporate Social Responsibility. And what does it mean exactly? Well, it's when businesses assess their activities and take actions for its effects on the environment and local communities' well-being, or, in John Elkington's words, the triple bottom line, where businesses are not only concerned with the profits, but also the people and the planet. Corporations can be ethically responsible in many ways, whether it be environmental, philanthropical, or simply using ethical labor practices. The words corporate social responsibility shouldn't have to be an oxymoron. Private profits and public interest can go hand in hand in implementing CSR, which can eventually lead to better corporate governance.
Stakeholders are people or groups with a vested interest in an organisation. There are many examples of stakeholders, including management, staff, customers, suppliers, and shareholders, although many different organisations have various stakeholders depending on their size and place in the market. Stakeholders can be categorised into four sections on a grid. These sections include high interest, high power, low power, high interest, low power, low interest, or high interest, low power. Often organisations seek to move stakeholders from one part of the grid to another. There are also conflicts which arise between stakeholders, such as management wanting to pay a lower price for supplies, but suppliers wanting to charge a higher price. Therefore, organisations must manage these conflicts effectively to run smoothly as an organisation.
Globalisation refers to the integration of markets in the global economy. We've studied how globalisation has increased in the last few decades through ways such as developments in ICT, transport and communications, which have accelerated the pace of globalisation over the past 30 years. The internet has also enabled fast and 24/7 global communication, and the use of containerisation through the use of shipping has enabled vast quantities of goods and commodities to be shipped across the world at extremely low cost. Advantages of globalisation include its access to larger markets, which means that firms may experience higher demand for their products as well as benefit from economies of scale, which leads to a reduction in the average production costs. Also, in the long term, increased trade is likely to lead to the creation of more employment in all countries that are involved.
Thank you for watching our video on the role of business in society. We hope you enjoyed.